stuff smells amazing. Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be doing a tutorial on how to do your own wedding makeup, because wedding season is here, even though certain things have been happening, you know, in the country where, you know, maybe your wedding is smaller or maybe you're eloping. I still want to do this tutorial to show you guys how you can get a beautiful, gorgeous, glowy wedding makeup look doing it at home by yourself. So when Clay and I got married, I did my own makeup and I loved the way that my makeup turned out, and I know that being able to watch a tutorial on YouTube was one of the best things in the world that I could do for doing my own wedding makeup. Now, a lot of people use higher end products when they do their wedding makeup, so I'm going to show you guys how to do your wedding makeup with some drugstore products that you guys can find like in Walmart, or if you buy it on ultabeauty.com. And I'm going to show you guys like how you guys can get a ready look for your wedding using some drugstore products, using some like high-end products, but things that are easily accessible to get right now. And let's dive into this video. Whether or not you're going to be getting married inside or outside, you do want to prime your face. So I do have two primers that I'm going to be using today. The first one is the Flawless and Poreless Primer. This one is from Pixi by Petra, and this can be found at Target. And then we are going to be using the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. So these two together I'm going to use to prime my face, fill in the pores, and make it so that my makeup will last a little bit longer and it will be, you know, kind of weatherproof. So the Flawless and Poreless Primer, I'm going to concentrate all over my face. And yes, you even want to prime your neck because you're actually going to filter your foundation down into your neck. So I do put a little bit of primer down here. Next, we're going to take the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer, and this one we're just going to concentrate on areas where you usually see where your makeup breaks apart on a normal day, or where you have extra texture, or where you have acne, where your makeup just won't cling as easily. So I tend to have some texturization right underneath my eyes, so I'm going to focus the putty primer here. And then I also have larger pores on my nose. So the putty primer is going to fill in those pores and it's going to get it ready for some foundation. So like I said, focus it anywhere that you have some problem areas. So where you have texture, where you have acne, where you have larger pores, you're trying to minimize those as much as possible so that the foundation will sit really, really nicely on your skin and it looks beautiful in photos, because that's what it's all about. Even if you're getting, you know, a photo taken with a phone, you still want to look gorgeous on your wedding day. Okay, now that my face is nice and tacky, it is prepped for foundation, the first thing that we are going to do is we are going to take my foundation and we're just going to apply it all over my face, because we can do that. So today I chose the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation. This is in Rose Ivory. Now, why did I choose this foundation? I actually absolutely... This is one of the best drugstore foundations that you can find right now. They also have a more dewy formula if you guys want more of that dewy look to your skin. But if you're going to be outside, you might want to avoid the dew and you might want to go more with a matte side. Wet n Wild did such an amazing job when they tested this, because it was tested under 7 light conditions with top smartphone models, and it was tested with and without flash. So it just has something in it that it photographs so well. So we're going to use my foundation plate. We're going to put this on here. The only thing I don't like about this foundation is that it has a spatula. But other than that, the properties that it has for, you know, covering your skin and giving you that flawless look on camera is wonderful. So I just have my little velour puff here, and we're going to streak this on my face. So this foundation does have more of a medium coverage, so it's not going to cover up all of your blemishes, but that is okay, because some of the other products that we're going to be using are going to cover those blemishes. And the way that it appears on camera is really what we're going for. You want to look flawless on your wedding day. Make sure you take your foundation into your neck, so take it down and bring it into your neck. You want everything to blend and look flawless. Now, if I were to zoom in, do a close-up for you, you guys would still be able to see just a little bit of maybe some blemishes. It doesn't fully cover, but that is okay. I do not want a full coverage foundation because I'm going to be using something else. To get more of a full coverage, I'm going to be using an Anastasia Beverly Hills Contour Kit. This one is in the light to medium range, and this is a very, very thick formula. We're going to be using it as a concealer, and we're going to be using it to sculpt out my face a little bit. So when you're working with a contour cream palette, you want to keep in mind that this is a very, very thick formula, and it actually comes with a lot of shades in here that you actually can either mix together to make the perfect shade for you, or you may only need to use 1 or 2 shades. And it does come with a banana shade, and this is actually for getting rid of any dark circles that you have. So if you have purple on your face anywhere, it is going to get rid of some of those circles. So I've always been told, put on your foundation first, and then you use a cream contour palette just to finish off your face. So we're going to be using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Contour Palette. Now, there are other companies that make cream contour palettes that are phenomenal. You don't have to use an Anastasia Beverly Hills one. I just have this one because I can actually replace the individual cream palettes in here. And it's a great long-wearing formula and very, very consistent with its coverage. So I know how it works. So again, we're going to take my Velour Puff and I'm going to dip into the lightest shade. I'm going to be using this as my concealer. And this is the fair shade and the neutral shade. So I usually mix both of these together with my Velour Puff, and then I just dab under my eyes and in the places where I want to be highlighted. And concealed, I guess, is the best way to put it. But this is a very thick, very creamy formula, so you don't really need a lot to put on your face. Mixed with the Photo Focus foundation, this is going to create a very flawless, on-camera look that you need when you're getting married. And see how it just like brightened up everything. Now I haven't blended anything out yet, I'm just applying it to my face. Then I'm going to rotate my Velour Puff around, and I'm going to start dipping into some of these more contour colors, and I'm going to chisel out my cheekbones here, and I'm going to do some shading along the hairline and also along the jawbone, and it's basically going to create just a really pretty natural bronzed glow, but it also contours your face. So I go in and I dab this on my skin. No, we have not blended anything out yet, but I literally just mix these colors together because my skin is different depending on where you are actually chiseling out your face. So you're just putting this on your face, you're not chiseling it out yet, you're not blending it in, you're just applying this to your face so you can get an application of this contour. And always keep in mind that you go into a 3 or an E. And then you're also going to go into your neck and jawline as well, and you're going to blend it all together when you get to that point. So this is a very subtle application of the actual contouring part of your skin. And then I always take, this is a Luxie small contouring brush, and this I use to blend, and then I also use the sides to get my nose so that I can contour my nose. So we're going to use this brush just to blend everything together. It gives it a very airbrushed effect. And it also doesn't drag the product across your face when you're using a brush. So now I'm going to take like the side of the brush and we're just going to contour my nose just a little bit. It's not going to be super noticeable, but it is going to give my nose a little bit of a contour, so it will slim down my nose just a little bit. Okay, so now we have cream contoured, we have put on my foundation. Everything is looking really flawless, really pretty, blended out, even. So what I do at this point is I spray my face with some setting spray, and it sounds kind of weird, but it's how I make my makeup last a lot longer, is by doing steps of setting spray in between each layer. So I have the Makeup Fixing Mist by Pixie by Petra. This one has rose water and green tea in it. Boy, does she smell good. So while my face is drying, I'll talk to you guys about the next step, which is setting the face, and then we move on to eyes. Okay, so now we're going to dip into a powder contouring palette. And the reason why I'm using this one instead of like a blush and a setting powder and all that other stuff is that this is just an all-in-one palette. It comes with some bronzing colors, it comes with some setting colors, and literally this is probably one of the best powder contouring palettes I've ever used. It is also an Anastasia Beverly Hills one in light to medium, and this is their powder contouring kit. So I just love this row in general when I'm setting my face, and it just brightens up. It gives it that, you know, glow that you need. So what I do is I dip into the banana powder, and then I also dip into, this one's more of a neutral shade. This one down here is more of a highlight shade, so I try to avoid that one as much as possible when I'm not wanting to do a highlight. But I go in and I set my face with this powder contour. The way that the powder is milled and pressed into the palette, it's just, it works so beautifully, especially when you're doing wedding makeup. Now you can find ABH at Ulta Beauty, and right now they have in-store pickup, and I'm hoping that they open their doors soon because I like being able to browse a makeup aisle without having to worry about a mask or anything like that, and just, you know, swatch things. That's my karma, my juju. That's my love. So I'm using this powder to set the places that I normally crease. So next I'm just going to take a powder brush, and we're going to swatch into all of the bronzing shades, and we're just going to lightly contour with this one because we already did a cream contour. We don't need something actually like hugely contoured. But this is also going to set the rest of the face a little bit better. And then I just take a smaller brush and I dip into some of the other contour shades, and that's how I contour my nose and set my nose in place with powder. So now we have most of the face set with powder. We're going to go into the blush. This is the Serafina blush from Juvia's Place. This is a very pigmented, very, very long-lasting blush. Super inexpensive, and you can buy it at Ulta Beauty, and you can actually go on the Juvia's Place website and you can use it as well. So we're going to use this blush today. It creates a very like sun-kissed, like peachy glow to your skin, especially if you're getting married in the summer. It's absolutely beautiful. Super affordable blush. I think this blush is maybe $7. I don't even think it's that expensive, to be honest. Just by adding a little bit pop of color, I look like I'm a little bit more put together, and I am starting to look like, you know, I'm going to the chapel to get married. The next thing that I'm going to be using, obviously, is highlight, because, I mean, if you don't have highlight, what's going on? So we're going to be using the Rach Loves Pixie collab. This one you can find at Target. Sorry guys, like Braxton got into it, but it's still good. This is my favorite highlighting palette because you can actually use it to layer. It has a lot of layering options. You have some huge, beautiful highlights here. This is clutch, this is tea, and then you layer on top of them with knit, zipper, or lace, and it just creates a really beautiful natural glow. So if you want something that's a little bit less of a glow, I would use tea, but today we're going to be using Clutch and Lace because we just want that little bit of something something that makes you glow, that makes you pop. So I'm going to be taking, this is a fan brush, we're going to use Clutch, and we're going to lightly apply this to the high points on my face. Now, keep in mind, the high points on my face are different than the high points on your face. So what the one trick is look at yourself in the light and see where you naturally shine. So I have a natural shine right on the end of my nose. So I always highlight there. And I always have a little bit of a natural shine right in here. So we're going to accentuate that, and then I always like to highlight right above my eyebrows, and it gives my face a little bit more dimension. And then obviously a lot of people have a high point on their face here where their cheekbones are. And then I actually have a point right here where I get a little bit gloss. So I usually put just a little bit of highlight there. Okay, now here comes the magic. So we just used one color in the Rach Loves palette, which was Clutch. Now we're gonna use Lace. And if we layer on top of the other highlight that I put on my face, it just automatically like pops. Gives you a little bit more oomph. Honestly, this is probably one of the best highlight palettes that you will ever spend money on. It is $24 at Target. It's the Rach Loves palette, and it is absolutely stunning. It adds so much dimension to your face, and it's perfect for your wedding day. Like, I wish I had had this palette when I got married, and I didn't. I don't even remember what highlight I used when I got married, but if I could go back and do my makeup again, it would be this palette. So we're gonna take our setting spray. We're gonna set our face again because we put all of this powder product on here, and then we're gonna move on to the eyes. Okay, so I wanna give you a couple of options for eyeshadow palettes that you could use. One of them is the Bare Necessities palette from ColourPop. This can be bought on their website, but it is a full nude palette, and it comes with 30 shades. This is an absolutely beautifully pigmented palette. So if you're looking for something more on the affordable side with a great quality for eyeshadows, pick up the Bare Necessities palette from ColourPop. They are shipping right now, even with all this stuff going on, so you can still buy this one. So the other palette that I do suggest would be something like a Norvina palette. This one is the original Norvina, and it has some very beautiful nude shades in here. So I think we're going to be using the Norvina palette today. So some great examples that come with more of a nude color scheme would be like, you know, obviously some of the Naked palettes from Urban Decay. There really aren't some great neutral palettes from the drugstore that are like really, really great quality. ColourPop is known for being a really great quality and more of a drugstore price. So definitely go check out ColourPop. That's why I pulled it out. I do have some other palettes in my collection that I would use for makeup. However, some of them are like a limited edition, like my Tati Beauty Texture Neutrals Volume 1. That one I would use for wedding makeup as well. But because it's more of a limited edition palette, it's not something you can get at Sephora or order online very easily, and it's not going to come to you easily, or you can go, you know, order on Ulta Beauty and then pick up at the store, or go get it at the store. That's why I'm not featuring it in this video, but those are some examples. So if you have some time to order some of these palettes that I did mention that are like a limited edition, then definitely I would invest in those. They are great neutral palettes. They would do very well on your wedding day, but if you're in a crunch and you don't have a makeup artist, these are some of the ones that you can find right away. So we're going to dive into the Norvina palette. This is from Anastasia Beverly Hills. This is a super pigmented palette, and it comes with so many beautiful colors that you can create your wedding eyeshadow look with. I'm just going to take a little bit of eyeshadow primer. This is best to use anytime that you're doing makeup that you want to last a long time. You can use concealer or you can use an eyeshadow primer. And the reason why we're doing my eyebrows last is because they tend to get all wonky, and when I put on my eyeshadow they get even more wonky, so I'd rather set them in place when I'm all done with my makeup. The Norvina palette. There was a brush I just used the other day that was absolutely perfect for this. So I'm going to be using a larger blending brush, and we're going to be dipping into all of these nude shades, but first we're going to set the actual eyeshadow primer with base, which is a neutral color, a very neutral skin tone color, but it's always best to set the eyeshadow primer so that you don't have weird patches and that your eyeshadow doesn't move. This is a great color that matches my skin tone, so you will find a color that matches yours. Now keep in mind, with wetting eyeshadow, they say to keep it as neutral and as matte as possible. You don't want a lot of shine because it's going to show through on the camera and you're going to get fallout all over your face. So we're going to stick more to the matte tones in here, and we're going to create a wetting look that's just going to be beautiful, subtle. It's going to look natural, but it's also going to look beautiful. So we're going to be using Volatile, which is more of a coffee espresso color, and we're going to first, I'm stamping this into the crease just to kind of concentrate it, and then we're also going to do the outer corner. And I love this fluffy brush because it kind of blows out the color, the eyeshadow on your eye, and it blends very, very well. This is one of my favorites fluffier brushes for doing my eyeshadow. But the thing is it's from eBay, and I don't know, it doesn't have a name. So you're avoiding as much as possible the inner crease and the lid. So we have both eyes really even with the pigment, with the volatile color, and it's looking really pretty, really blended. And now we're gonna go into Dreamer, which is this really pretty light color. And this is going on the inner corner. So we're gonna take Dreamer. First, I'm going to tap this on, like so. Really concentrating that color in the inner corner and then only going onto the lid. It's almost like a cut crease, but without doing the cut crease. So you are taking that color and you are only placing it like basically where you would do a cut crease, but you're not doing a cut crease. This is a very simple way to get that gradient look that you're looking for when you want it to go from dark to a really pretty shimmer. And then taking that same blending brush from before, we're going to just add a little bit on the outer corner, bring it in, and really have it blend with the lighter color. Only concentrating on the outer corner. You're really going to marry the two shades together where they meet so they blend into each other flawlessly. You don't want a line, you want it to blend. So I'm going to close up this palette because we're going to do a brow bone highlight. And we're going to go in with the Rach Loves Pixie collab because this just creates a very subtle but beautiful brow bone highlight. So we're going to use some of the highlight in here. My favorite one to use when I'm using a brow bone highlight is the tea color. And I literally just use a teeny tiny little brush and I create a brow bone highlights. And then I will put a little bit of lace in the inner corner just to brighten this up a little teeny tiny bit. Okay, so now we're gonna go on to the eyebrows, and eyebrows are really important when you have wonky eyebrows like me. So I am going to show you guys a really quick, easy way to get your eyebrows to last, stay on your face, and not get wonky for your pictures. So in all honesty, I'm just gonna use the colors out of my powder contouring kit from ABH. Then I have an eyebrow tool, which has a brush on one side and a spoolie on the other. So the first thing I do is I comb my eyebrows up, get them looking less wonky than you have ever seen them. And then because my eyebrows are a darker color, we're going to be dipping into the darker contouring color in here. And I basically just take this and I fill it in as best as possible. I don't like the Instagram chiseled eyebrow look, but I believe that if you fill in your eyebrows even just a little bit for your wedding photos, it will make them look more put together. Use the comb to evenly disperse the product as well, like so. And it doesn't really take a lot to fill in your eyebrows. If you have really thick eyebrows with only a little few places that need to be filled in, then that's all you need to do. So now my eyebrows are done. It was a really simple step. I'm not going to chisel them out. I'm not going to like frame them. You want your eyebrows to look as natural as possible on your wedding day. The next step that I do, gotta find it. So I'm just going to spray my face, and that will set the eyebrows in place, it'll set the eyeshadow in place, and it'll reset everything else on my face. So before my face dries with the setting spray, we're gonna blow dry it. So the blow drying technique is something that I got from Tati Westbrook. She kind of stumbled upon it when she was using her Dyson. She's featured it on her channel a couple of times. But anyway, so I have found that after I spray my setting spray on my wet face, and you know, I don't want it to dry, air dry. When you use the heat, it kind of like melts it all together and it makes your makeup last so much longer. So now we're gonna move on to my mascara. So now we're gonna move on to my mascara because I don't want my lashes to be naked. And I am the type of person who does not wear fake lashes, and if you were doing your own wedding makeup, maybe you're the same as me. If you know how to do fake lashes, go ahead, do it. You go, girl. I cannot express enough how bad I am at fake eyelashes, so I have been on the hunt for a mascara that gives me fake eyelashes that looks good, you know, when I'm getting married or if I'm just going out or anything like that. So the best mascara I have found to have this technique that like extends your lashes, fills your lashes, and makes them look fake is the Lash Princess False Effect Mascara from Essence Cosmetics. I wore this mascara, not this exact tube, but I did wear this specific mascara when I got married, and my lashes looked so beautiful, so full, so fake. So this is the #1 mascara that I do recommend you use if you just are a mascara person and you don't want to use fake eyelashes. Last thing on my list is lips. And you want to choose something that is long lasting, it's going to last through your ceremony, and it is going to last through the pictures. Last through that first kiss as husband and wife. We all know you're not going to be able to reapply your lips like in the middle of your ceremony. I have a NYX Lip Lingerie, and this one is in Lace Detail. It's a very nude but long lasting color. You don't want your lips to be over the top, super bright, or super, super dark. You want them to be more on the nude side to go with the whole like nude theme that you're going with. And I'm going to put on top of that, this is a ColourPop Luxe lip gloss. This one is in the color Staying Up. so it is a little bit more of a pink color. It's just going to add in a little bit of that moisture that the liquid lipstick takes out. And now my lips look their natural color. So my makeup looks natural, pretty, but it's also just a little bit over the top to the point where you know you're getting married. So I'm ready to go put on my wedding dress. I'm ready to get married. The constant song running through my head during this entire video is the "Going to the chapel and we're gonna get married." I really hope you guys like this tutorial on how to do your own wedding makeup. If you are stuck in a jam, if you can't afford a makeup artist, that type of thing, you're gonna have a beautiful wedding day look following the steps in this tutorial. And I will see you guys later. Like this video, subscribe for more, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.